Okay, we got Warble in the gold as player 1 up against Saykoya playing Nadia in the black. And fun fact about Nadia is, so when I set up the Photoshop to do the thumbnails for tournaments, I would only do it as commanders were getting played, and Nadia was basically the last person to get added to the thumbnail Photoshop file. Just because it had been so long. Although actually, funnily, Elodie on the player 2 side I added today. Nobody had played a game as Elodie on player 2 side up until that point. Which I thought was quite funny.
And Saykoya is skipping some stuff to get the commander in time for the meal. Because he did not open maids. So I guess that's what you do when you don't open maids.
Yeah, Saykoya has been very, I won't say vocal about thinking that like the mage opening isn't quite as good and you can just do the sword opening instead. It does, however, mean that you skip a lot of captures in the early game.
I don't know, it still looks like the maids opening is better, but like, yeah. Saykoya is a veteran of the community, and with that comes experience, and I mean, in my experience, we've seen a lot of maps where maids openings seem really good at the start and then end up being very bad. So, you know, maybe Saykoya is thinking, you know, might as well not trust this. It might end up being bad later. And if I never trust this, I might be the first one to discover how it ends up being bad later.
Yeah, this is a very good point. You don't want to get stuck into a meta that ends up not being the one that is correct.
But anyway, I might be falling into the trap, but to me it looks like it's clearly better to open maids.
Yeah.
I also haven't played this map yet, so you know I'll have a better opinion when I play it.
Yeah, it's like, alright, yeah, we're seeing some good early stuff here with the knights. It's around that village. There's actually 3 knights already on turn 6 in there.
Oh, and an early dragon and the early witch to answer it.
Yeah, dragon is really strong on this map because, you know, big open map. Quite a lot of road tiles actually to play with too, so... And I guess if your opponent doesn't open mage, like,
yeah,
you just slam your dragon into them and they have to back up.
And Saykoya can't really mirror the idea.
Yeah, because like there is a mage with the commander over on that side, so... But what Saykoya can do, yeah, these knights are doing so much work.
So I guess that's the benefit of not going maids. So we've seen it all. We've seen the disadvantages and the advantages of the mage opening.
Warble backing up a little bit on that top left. I guess they want to move their army into position because actually these knights can threaten stronghold pretty quickly. They're going to be all over it. I mean, potentially this turn actually.
There is no real anti-knight unit on the top left side for Warble. It's just sword, and mage, and mercy. So I guess that's what happens, right? If your opponent doesn't do the mage opening, then you send dragon to deal with Sio. And if they do it, then you send a bunch of knights.
Ooh. Oh, right. That's actually a really nice play.
Oh, and the witch is there, so the witch will not be able to kill the dragon in one shot.
And I think, yeah, you just move a sword into position. Oh, actually, you can even hit the knight a bunch of times. Oh, that's actually... It looks bad, because, you know, you see the swords.
Mercia.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But I was just going to say, it looks bad, but it's actually always a good gold trade to hit knights with swords. Like, the main loss is unit count, and, like, you lose a bunch of health on your villages, but... Oh, fire dance coming in. Oh, that's nice, actually. And yeah, that's going to be able to hit the dragon. Oh, the dragon still lives, though.
Yeah, it only does 50.
Like, witch crit is, like, really brutal in a lot of ways, where, like, the moment you don't crit, you're, like, hitting stuff for basically nothing.
Yeah. So that's interesting. I mean, Nadia got decent value, but I think Mercia is a way stronger Sion will eventually get more value.
Yeah, well, I mean, the dragon and...
The witch and the dragon, yeah.
Yeah, the dragon just... And the witch just move over to Mercia, and Mercia's just like, yeah, I got you.
The swords too. And it's like, well, That's why we don't pick Nadia. But Saykoya does like picking the bad heroes to try everything out.
Yeah, I mean, this is the event for it too.
Yeah.
But I mean, it would be cool if like people could discover something interesting with Nadia. Oh, I feel like I remember seeing a Saykoya like message at some point where he was trying out Nadia on this map and mentioned like, oh, there was like a 1 in, it was like a 3 in 4 chance to hit the mages, and like Nadia didn't. I think that was actually trying to have one of those hits land on the mage, because then it wouldn't kill the witch.
Yeah. And then maybe the witch could have hit the other witch and kill it. If you got like both the mage and the witch.
Something like that.
But it hit the sword.
Yeah. Ooh, nice use of the frog there. Actually, we get to see Warble use frog against Saykoya, who is almost like famously the frog player, right?
Yeah. Although Warble, last game we looked at, had an amazing frog tactic against Space Front.
That's very
but
true.
I don't want to talk about that game anymore. I don't want to talk about that game ever again.
It was a sad end to that game.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
but I had to mention the frog tactic because I guess Warble likes frogs too and can use them to great effect.
Yeah. And I can't really tell who's winning right now because Saykoya, I guess they like lost the knight early, and that was kind of unfortunate. But they've actually, it's like Saykoya has really good map control right now. It is obviously like pushed over the center, so.
Yeah, the classic crafty veteran, like controlling the map even through like a unit disadvantage.
Yeah.
I think it's got like the slightly less expensive army, right? Ooh, that's another pick of mages can't get in range, right?
I don't think so. Yeah, it's a really awkward like piece of terrain over there. So.
Yep.
And we see that witch hex to open up a kill as well with the dragon, which I think is quite interesting. Just like any opportunity where you're like, oh, I could kill this unit if I had like a little bit more damage. So yeah, witch hex comes into play again. Ooh, I was thinking that frog would yoink, but it doesn't go for. Oh, actually, I think if the frog had yoinked the dragon, the mage would have been able to hit it.
Oh no, it was one off. I think it was one off. Yeah, Saykoya would have got that. I think it was one off even with. Unless I'm misremembering where the mage started because it had already moved.
I feel like it was in range, but I mean, we'd have to check like the replay.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think Saykoya would have got that, but like maybe he missed it. Yeah, it's not impossible that he missed it.
Yeah, or he saw it and decided not to go for it for whatever reason. Because you probably would lose the mage if you do that, but.
Nah, that's impossible. Killing the dragon is too important. And Mercia is gonna eventually get groove again and heal it to full. Yeah, I can say with like nearly 100% confidence that if Saykoya did see it and it did work, he would have played it. Or had seen it and would have. Whatever. I'm not gonna do this right now. Trying to think about the game.
Okay, now, yeah, Saykoya is just kind of repositioning. They're seeing the kind of like, you see almost got like the whirlpool effect where like one strong front forms on each side and the players are like slowly pushing into that front. Oh, nice rifle crit onto the knight there. I mean, obviously it's not like the best damage, but if a knight's in river, that's actually like a decent chunk of gold.
And
yeah,
if
like,
you could only hit the knight, might as well crit it instead of hitting it normally. Like you didn't have anything better to do with the unit, so.
Oh, and we see a trebuchet come out. So Warble prepping for the long game. This could actually be a longer one. I mean, one thing Locus has is that it definitely can result in some longer games. And, oh, actually, yeah, that rifle crit, because it hit the knight that was set up to crit the village, then the sword had to take some extra damage. Not only are you critting the knight, you're also damaging the sword, slowing down the capture on that corner. So it's actually really smart. Warble thinking long term there.
Yeah. And this will also mean that Vil will be lower health because the sword that caps it will be lower health. So if Warble ends up swinging by that side of the map, it might mean he captures it, decaptures it, and then captures it.
Yeah, yeah, it's very
With
true.
Traitories.
Oh, are we gonna see an attempt at lethal here? There's a lot of stuff coming forwards. Okay, it might not be a lethal, but it probably is just going to be a lot of pressure.
I'm not sure about the frog's movement. I'm not sure about its range because it has like some river there. It does move faster in the rivers, right? Can it do something?
Oh, I can move the rifle. I was thinking it could maybe pull the trap into a better position to crit Nadia, but that actually isn't a lethal. It's very close though.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, if it could maybe do something that leads to a lethal, but nope. But still, that's like a decent attack, and when you fire back, you need to be careful because there will be a Mercia groove.
Yeah, and also you need to make sure Nadia, you know, if Nadia runs back and pops groove, for example, like, you need to be sure that you aren't going to just die in the follow-up turn.
Yep. Also, Saykoya will need to show us some like
That knight lives on 1 health.
good army fighting. I mean, the rifle I guess can finish it, but no, it would have died in the turn for sure.
Oh yeah, the very
Ah,
low
there
health
wasn't-
swords. Yeah,
Yeah, that's fair.
that's
And
always
to
a
harvest
nice
that-
feeling actually when you have like a really super low health unit you don't care about. It's just like, oh, you have a purpose now.
Yeah.
I'll gladly sacrifice you to kill this 1% health unit.
I mean, that was a pretty good turn from Saykoya because it didn't leave anything like half health for a Mercy heal.
Yeah, although you say that there's a follow-up attack turn here from Warble and it's doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, yeah. But Saykoya I think did slightly more.
There's this massive line of spears in the top left, so you can't really push into that. And I think Warble is in a double frog. Okay. So since when you have the trap out and the frog, I mean, so like frogs are really good at killing traps because they can open up holes in front of the defense, but being able to frog pull a trebuchet forward to crit is really deadly.
Speaking of frog pulls, one just got the twits.
Nice.
But you might lose a lot of stuff this turn.
Yeah, I think like Saykoya's just like slowly walking backwards and like taking small fights where they can, but every turn is like really good for Warble. It's really going to come down to, I think, these 2 golems, like how effective those are going to be.
And also the trap position, right?
Yes.
Does it get to swing for free forever, or does it get killed eventually?
Another one of these witch hexes. Oh, wow.
That was a very big hex, but that witch is gonna die for it, so...
Yeah, but Mercia just straight up walks forwards and is like very okay with taking down.
Ooh.
Oh, but that's a lethal. Oh, the sneaky knight crit, and that's exactly 45% as well. Oh,
I missed that.
I
That's
think
very
everybody except Warble missed that. So
Yeah, the dragon wasn't even full HP, but the road tile makes it a very capable wall breaker. Yeah, and was able to clean the side and the back and go for the knight for it.
yeah, that was a really nice play there from Warble. Just recognize that, hey, like there's this small opening I can create. Saykoya didn't wall everything, so the dragon could just come forwards and get the kill. Oh, that was like so precise as well. 45%. Actually, yeah, because that was Witch Hex, Commander hit, Knight crit on a road tile.
On road, yeah.
Yeah, so that's exactly 100% every time.
That was a really cool play, yeah.
Yeah, that was
And
good.
Warble keeps doing very well.
He does.
I mean, I think he was gonna win anyway because the CO difference was just too vast, and he was playing well. But this was a very nice find.
Yeah, I agree. And I think we get to see a lot of stuff about like the mage opening versus the sword opening. So, you know, Warble able to use that dragon early, able to, even after taking a lot of damage, plays into Mercia's ability to heal up after. So I think,
but
yeah.
Saykoya was also able to grab a lot of econ, so it's like hard to say if one opening was clearly better than the other.
Yeah, but I do think that in particular fighting Mercia on this map in that kind of style, like you're seeing the weakness of the sword opening versus the mage opening, where the drag, if you leave the dragon so that it can escape and get back to Mercia, then yeah, whereas like, you know, if you have a mage opening, like the dragon isn't quite as strong, it feels very threatened, and you know, of course, like the mage can hit it and then it can go back to Mercia heal anyway, but then you're only trading a mage to do that as opposed to a witch, which is like 350 gold more. And mage actually hits even harder than the witch with a non-crit, so.
But anyway, a very strong game. Very,
Yeah, it was
very
really
strong showing
impressive.
from both players. Koya dropped the lethal, Warble got it. But you know,